Good morning! Hi cubies and newbies, I am Sunshine. This is the ABCube method for solving Rubik's Cubes. Let's scramble. Alright. Formula A is a newbie method. It is not a speed solve method. It is not a fewest moves method. If you are racing yourself trying to do better, this is not the method for you. However, for your non-cuber friends who say, I don't want to learn it all, just teach me the secret, this is that. This is the secret. This is where you can pick up any complexity cube, and you can learn this method inside of 2 hours. Formula A is 4 moves, Formula B is 8 moves, and that's all you need. You don't have to learn the cube language, you don't have to recognize which algorithm to use at what point in time, because it's all the same thing. Formula A brings a piece to the top and twists the corners around. Formula B moves 3 pieces around, exchanges 3 pieces. Formula A will bring a piece to the top and twist it. This one's noisy. Let's do this one instead. So I generally, the people who ask me to teach them, actually, they just look at the cubes and say, "Wow, can you really solve that?" I'm like, "Oh, I can teach you." Are usually the ones of, "Oh, my brother can solve it, my cousin can solve it. He tried to teach me, but oh, it's just too hard to memorize. I can't. It's just my brain doesn't work that way." Well, this is for those people. So if you have non-cuber friends, bring them here. We will have fun. I have been cubing since the early 80s, since it first came out. My older brother had a cube before me because he happened to be in Germany, and so he had it half a decade before me. But I have been cubing since the early 80s. And when the world went into the speed solving direction, I went into the teaching direction instead. At first, I was not teaching my own solution. Went to the corner store and bought this. There happened to be the one that I bought. Pre-internet, there was no YouTube. And if you wanted to learn it, you had to figure out how to do it yourself. But and I couldn't figure out how to do it by myself. I did find an expert to teach me. I memorized the book, and then I was once I memorized the book, then I was teaching all my friends at middle school. Like, "Ooh, you can do it? Can you teach me?" It was just 3 by 3. And there was no speed solving method. There was no finger tricks. There was no cornering. It took 2 hands to make each turn because the cube was clunky. But I did watch the first competition on TV. This is the guy who won, and he went on to write the book. Jeffrey Varasano set the first record. And if you have not looked him up, look him up. His brain is brilliant. He does have a YouTube. He has done a tutorial on YouTube. Anyway, all right, these look scrambled. Let's see who's here. Anybody here today? Good morning. Hi, you guys. Okay. Anyone have any questions for me today? Anything in particular you want me to demonstrate or go over? Or otherwise, I'm just going to play with my cubes. This method does work. I'm going to play with this one today. This method does work on every complexity Rubik's Cube. It's all the same. Like I said, Formula A will bring a piece to the top, and Formula B will move 3 pieces around. This is the winning 3 by 3 by 9. 3 by 3 by 9. This formula works on this cube as well. Works on every Minx. Works on this one as well. This is the plus cube. I do the white and the yellow first, and that gets into the plus shape, and then I just pretend that I'm working with a 5 by 5 with some of the pieces missing, and I just apply Formula B to the columns. And it works. You'll notice that formula A and B, neither one of them will handle a parity. That's because you don't have to. Parities are a lie. They're totally optional. So ask me about parities, that's fine. So the first thing, no matter which cube you have, every cube has 8 corners. So we're going to start all of the cubes the exact same way. So we're going to start with the corners. Okay, this one's that's all it has. So when you have a 2 by 2, it's real easy to see which line and which is the arrow, which is the line. If you hold the cube in your hands, look at the front of the face as if it's a spreadsheet with rows and columns, and the arrow represents the slice you're going to move, and the black line represents the rest of the cube as you're ignoring it. So formula B is the top row and 2 columns, and depending on which 2 columns you use, different things happen. If you use the outside columns, you're moving the corners around. If you use an outside and an inside column, you're moving edges around. If you use 2 inside columns, you're moving centers around. But it's still the horizontal move, 1 row up, the reverse of the horizontal move, 2nd row up, and then reverse down and reverse down. So it's a mathematical 0 for every left there's a right, for every up there's a down. It's a commutator, and it's only going to move 3 pieces at a time. So if you have a solved cube, you can see what the movements do. Okay, so formula A, if you apply the middle to the absolute center, that would be moving this piece to the top. So this is my row, this is my column, and I move this piece wants to move to the top. So first I'm going to move it away so I don't lose it, away from the action. I'm going to bring the space down. I'm going to put the cube back into the space, and the cube and the space back up again. That's formula A. And on the absolute center, it gives us boxes. On the bottom row in the right column, it's going to move this piece up to here. It's going to switch these 2 places. It's going to do a bunch of other things, but we don't care about that. If we do it twice, it puts it back to where they were, but it has them twisted. Okay, so 6 times will get you back. So you know it's there, but it's twisted. We'll get you back to how you began. So the only way to have an effect on the cube is when the cube on top looks the way you want it to be. Rotate the top to preserve it, and continue with another cube to finish the twist. It's again out, down, in, up. Once more, out, down, in, up. Formula B moves 3 pieces around. Always the top row, always 2 columns. And for the corners it looks like this. Slide up, slide down, slide down. And this one stayed the same. These 3 corners moved. Okay? On the Minx it will also does the same thing. So slide up, slide down, slide down. Once more we'll get it into where it wants, so you can see what's happening. These 2 move together, and this one moves over there. So it has the effect of these 2 staying the same, of just swapping these 2, but you're never swapping 2 pieces. You're always swapping 3 pieces, just because of the mathematics of the cube. If it's outside an inside cube, let's say, then you just select the piece you want to move, and the first column is where it's going to land. Second column is where it begins. For the centerpieces, you pick a piece and you follow it along. Make sure, and the first so you move it up, and then after you move it into a second column, wherever that second column is, that's with your second column up, and then down, down, and set. So it looks like I moved 2 pieces. I did not. I mean, you never move 2 pieces. You're always moving 3. But 2 of the pieces were red, so it looked like it was moving 2. So first I line it up, so it's advantageous. But if I mark this piece, you'll see that while this piece ends up here, this piece doesn't end up here. It's going to end up over here instead. So I go up, slide to a different column, second up, reverse down, reverse down, and it moved over here. So Your cube has 8 corners, pick a corner. Your corner has 3 colors, pick a color. I start with yellow because all of my cubes have yellow and it's convenient to work with. Sometimes you have non-standardized colored cubes, but every cube that I've had, the yellow works well with. So I pick a corner, pick a color, and then I'm going to hold that cube I hold my cube in my hands. I'm looking at that's under my left thumb, and so this cube that I've selected is correct. I'm going to make all the rest of the cube match it because we're that powerful. So I'm ignoring everything but yellow. I'm ignoring everything but corners, and so I look at this corner to see if it matches this one. If it does, then we proceed to the next step. But if it doesn't, then I get to use formula A to affect this cube. So if there's a yellow anywhere on this cube, formula A will bring it to the top. If there's a yellow anywhere on this cube, formula A will bring it to the top. So as long as there's a yellow in one of these two cubes, then formula A is what I do. If there's not a yellow here, I rotate the bottom row until there is a yellow here, because there's going to be a yellow here or here. It has to be because there's of the makeup of the cube. So bottom row, right column, because I'm right-handed. So this piece is going to come up here. I'm going to start by moving it out of the way, away, space down, cube in, cube and space back up again. Is my yellow on top? No, keep going. Out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up. Okay, yellow's on top. Okay, so I'm going to keep my cube stable because I do the second 4 corners the exact same way I do the first 4 corners. We don't want to have to learn two different ways. So I move this cube over here so my thumb can protect it, and I will continue on this corner. Is there yellow here or here? If yes, formula A. If no, rotate the bottom until the answer is yes. Okay, so as long as there's a yellow one of these two places, formula A will bring it to the top. Okay, slide out of the way to protect it. Continue with this one. There's a yellow here or here. Out, down, and up. Out, down, and up. Yellow's on top. Okay, let's do that on all of these. In this way, I don't proceed to the next step until you're comfortable with the first step. So we use formula A. Let's use formula A on all of these as well. Here's a yellow. If there's a yellow here or here, it'll come to the top. There's not, so I rotate the bottom. Now there is. And yes, I can just muscle it into place. And you can do that for the first few, for the first little while if you want to. But it does upset the rest of the cube, and so if your goal is to only move the pieces you're working with, that's not the best way of doing it. So no yellow here, or here. There it is. Out, down, in, up. Out, down, in, up. Out, down, in, up. Okay, hold the cube stable, slide the top, keep going. Formula A, yellow's on top on all of these. Let's do this one. Here's a yellow. This one does not have a yellow. This one does not have a yellow. Slide the bottom. Still no. Slide the bottom. There's a yellow. Formula A will bring it to the top. And yes, there are shortcuts. Like I said, this is not a speed solve method. This is not a fewest moves method. But this is, I don't know how to do a cube when I want to method. Okay, so again, this corner is correct. We're going to work on this corner. Okay, slide, no yellow, rotate the bottom, there's the yellow. We're going to bring our active color to the top on all 4 corners. Okay, so this one has yellow on top, this one has yellow on top, this one has yellow on top. Let's find one that has yellow on top and start with that one. Okay, so no yellow here, rotate the bottom. No yellow there. There's the yellow. Out, down, and up. Out, down, and up. Out, down, and up. When yellow's on top, we pause. We hold the cube stable, but we rotate the top to move that out of the way and preserve it, and continue with another corner until the yellow's on top on all 4 corners. So no yellow here or here, rotate the bottom. Rotate the bottom. Now there's a yellow. Formula A will bring it to the top in 5 or less moves. There's shorter ways to get it to the top, but again, this is like the dancing bear. It may not do it well, but it does it. Instead of 2 hours, you can solve every complexity Rubik's Cube, because they can all be solved with just formula A, just formula B. So yellow's on top, keep the cube stable, rotate the top, and then bring this yellow to the top. Okay. All right, first goal was to bring yellow to the top on all 4 corners. Now at this point in time, one of 3 things has happened. Your corner has 3 colors, not just one, so we're going to look at the other colors. And we're going to see whether they are correct to each other, whether they match on the sides. Red equals red, but green does not equal orange, blue does not equal green, orange does not equal blue. So as we're checking this, one of 3 things will have happened. Either all sides match to each other, no sides match to each other, or one side matches. There can't be any other way because of the nature of the cube. You can't have 2 sides that match, the other one not, unless you've been peeling off stickers. Don't peel off stickers. Don't peel off stickers. That's the way they solved it back in the 80s. You have more resources for learning now. Don't peel off stickers. Okay, so this one has one side that matches. This one has blue does not equal green, red does not equal orange, blue does not equal green. This one has no sides that match. Okay, so all sides, no sides. Let's look at this one. Blue does not equal green, red does not equal orange. This one also has no sides that match. And then green does not equal orange, blue equals blue, so this one has one side that matches. So these 2 have one side that matches, these 2 have no sides that matches. All right, so if all of them match, then you pause and wait for the rest of the class to catch up. Each one of these cubes, I'm going to do the exact same thing to it. I'm going to do formula B to move 3 pieces around, and we're going to do formula A to bring the yellow color back to the top. Now, if I have a matching face, then I'm going to hold that cube with the matching facing away from me, as if I'm in a car and those are my headlights. I'm driving down the street. So, but all of them I'm going to do is, if I don't have any side matches, it doesn't matter which way I hold it, as long as my yellow is on top. And when I do formula B and then A, it will progress to the next step. So if no side matches and I do B and then A, then one side will match. If one side matches, then I do B and A, then the next step is for all of the sides to match. If I forget to line up my headlights, then I'll do it, and I'll still be one side that matches because I didn't do it right. So if none of them match, it doesn't matter which way I hold it. Let's do it. Okay, top row, 2 columns. Slide up, slide down, slide down. Okay, now we already know how to bring the yellow back to the top because we're comfortable with A. So we do formula A to bring our yellow back to the top. Out, down, and up. When it's on top, slide, move it out of the way. Out, down, and up. Excuse me, hiccups. Out, down, and up. Slide the top. Out, down, and up. Out, down, and up. Okay. Yellow's on top. Again, and when I look at it this time, red does not equal green, but orange equals orange. So this time it has one match. I'm going to put it in the column that has one match. I'm going to do this again, so no side matches. It doesn't matter which way I hold it, but I'm going to do formula B, slide up, slide down, and then without readjusting the cube, I go right into formula A to bring the yellow to the top. Okay, hold the cube stable, slide the top to preserve this one, continue with this one. Hold the cube, rotate the top, continue. Yellow's on top again, and this time we have a match. Okay, so all of these have one side that matches. So again, we're going to do it all the exact same way. So matching faces away from me, as if it has the headlights of a car. And I do formula B. Slide up, slide down, slide down. We just move 3 cubes around. Formula A to bring yellow to the top. And when I'm finished with this, when the yellows are back at the top, the corners will be correct to each other. All of the 4 sides will match. Slide, keep going. And now the yellows are correct to each other. The first 4 corners are correct to each other. Okay. Do it again. My matching color is red, so it's facing away from me. Slide up, slide up, slide down, slide down. This one stayed the same, and we're going to bring the yellow to the top on the rest of them. Slide. Slide. B and then A's, and now my yellow corners match to each other. Yay! Hooray! Huzzah! Okay. Do it again just to show that it works every time. Corners match the front, corners match facing the back. Headlights facing the back. I know words, I just don't use them properly. Slide up, slide down, slide down. And Formula A, bring it back to the top. Okay, slide. Slide. And all sides match. Okay, once more, orange matching side faces away. Slide up, slide down, slide down. And then Formula A to bring our yellow back to the top. Slide. Slide. Okay, so the first step is to get your first four corners matching. And it's done with Formula A, Formula B. That's all I use for the entirety of the cube is Formula A, Formula B. So now that the yellows are matching, we're going to take the yellow and we're going to flip it face down, and we're going to abandon the yellow, and we're going to work on the second four corners. This one has blue, orange, white. This one has blue, red, white, so it's not red or orange. This one has white, green, and red. So white is the color that's common to all four corners. And it'll always be, not every cube is traditionally colored. On this one, the opposite red yellow is red, and it has a purple and thrown in there for good measure. So you just have to establish what the color is. And the second four corners are going to be white, because these are all standardized colors. So if there's a white on top, I'm going to preserve it, but there's not, so it doesn't matter. I'm just going to hold the cube, and I'm going to do Formula A, and apply to this cube until my white's on top. So we go out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up. Keep going, it's not on the top layer yet. To face. Out, down, and up. There it is. Okay, hold the cube stable, slide it over here to preserve it, and continue with this corner. Out, down, and up. Out, down, and up. Slide the top to preserve it, keep the cube stable. Continue with this corner. Slide the top, continue. There we go. Okay, white's on top. Now we can check our yellows. They are still happy with each other. Yellows are still correct to each other. White is on top. Put the yellow face down. This one has two whites, so this one, I'm going to twist this one, start here. Bring white to the top. Slide it away, keep going. This one is also white, slide it away, keep going. Continue to this one. When white is on top, we can see that the yellow has not been affected. Yellow's face down. Okay, bring the white to the top. Formula A, slide to protect it, keep going. And as long as I don't twist the cube as I'm going around, bringing the whites to the top does not affect my yellows. You can see them dancing around as I'm working with the whites, but they always resolve themselves. So white's on top, yellow is still happy. Yellow face down. This one has a white. We'll keep it. Let's go on this one. Out, down, in, up. Out, down, in, up. Okay. Slide the top, keep the cube stable. Continue with this one. Out, down, in, up. Out, down, in, up. Okay, keep the cube stable. Slide the top, keep going. Out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up. And white's on top, so we can check our yellows. Yes, they're still happy. Okay, so same thing we did with the yellows, we're going to do with the whites. We're going to look and see if any of the sides match. Okay, so on this one, orange does not equal red, blue does not equal green, orange does not equal red, blue does not equal green. So this one has none that match, okay, put in that column. This one has all 4 of them match, so we're going to set it over here. This one, red does not equal green, blue does not equal green, but orange equals orange. So this one has one side that matches, okay, and this one, orange and green, red and red, so one side matches, it goes here. So this one, we're just going to pause until the rest of the class catches up. And then this one had none that matched. So when I do it, it's going to end up in this column. So slide up, slide down. And we just move 3 cubes around. Formula A brings it back to the top. I'm going to write a poem, you guys. Write a song, I swear. Out, down, in, up. Out, down, in, up. Slide. Out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up. White's back to the top, yellow is still happy, and we've progressed to the next stage. So red does not equal blue, but orange equals orange. So now we have one side that matches. Having a side that matches, it faces away. We're going to do formula B, and then A to bring the white back to the top again. And when I've done this, all of the sides will match. Formula B, out, down, in, up, slide the top, keep the cube stable. Out, down, in, up, slide the top, keep the cube stable. Alright, so the white's on top. All that we have to do now is line up see if the top matches the bottom, and line it up as necessary until the top corners match the bottom corners, and poof, that one's done. Let's do that with this one. We didn't do that. So red does not equal green, green does not equal blue, green does not equal orange. These lined up. So these 8 corners are all correct to each other. Okay. This one had one side that matches, faces away. Slide up, slide down, and formula A brings the white back to the top. And as long as we don't twist the corner, don't rotate the cube, and only rotate the faces that we want to rotate, the yellows will not get messed up. If you do rotate the cube instead of just the top row, then just pretend that you started with yellow and get your started with white and go on to yellow. So first 4 corners are correct, second 4 corners are correct, rotate the top until they match, and boom, this one's done. Okay, again, corners matching side faces away from you. Slide up, slide down. Okay, and then your yellows are still happy because B doesn't change them. And now formula A. And when all of our whites are back to the top again, we will check the yellows and we'll see that they're still happy. In the meantime, we can see them dancing around, misbehaving, having thrown a party while mom and dad aren't home. But when the whites are on top again, we check, and they have not been affected. They have resolved themselves. So green does not equal blue, orange does not equal green. There we go. Okay, so these corners are all correct. These corners are all correct. Ta-da! So on the 2x2, there's nothing more to do. That one's done. On the rest of the cubes, because the corners can only be correct to each other, we've now established we're going to work around the corners. The corners now dictate what color each face is going to be. Back in the 80s, we worked around the absolute center, but that went out the window. Should have gone out the window when we progressed to the 4x4, because you can't see what the absolute center is. But once the corners are correct to each other, then that can dictate what color you want each face to be. So we can just set our cube the way we want to. We can set the center in between our corners right now because we haven't solved anything. But if we wanted to, we can do that with formula A. So I want to bring my white up. So I'm going to formula A, this row, this column, move it out, down, in, up. Okay, look again. This one wants to come up here, out, down, in, up. So if we had the edges already done, we can place the center with formula A, but we don't have to. Or you can just place it. So when the rest of the cube is still scrambled, you can just muscle things into place. But when the rest of the cube is solved and you don't want to mess anything up, formula A, formula B will fix it. All right, you guys, who else here? Thank you for joining me. Does anyone have, Foxty. New name. All right, so anyone have any questions or comments before I go feed my cat and be back here tomorrow? Again, this is not a speed solve method. This is not a fewest moves method. This is boring and clunky, but it works. It's and this is for the people who tried to learn and couldn't. Their brother tried to teach them, their cousin tried to teach them, whatever they couldn't learn. It just could not memorize all the algorithms. And of course, once you memorize the algorithms, you have to. My brain has a hard time. I mean, I know that this is the top, and this is the front, and this is the right, and this is the left. And I know clockwise and counterclockwise, but it takes my brain a second to figure out that right clockwise is parallel to left counterclockwise and things like that. So if you have any non-cuber friends, bring them back to me. We will have fun. In the meantime, I'll be back here tomorrow. Come join me. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do the edges. Start with the edges. So go have a wonderful day. Be nice to yourself. Drink lots of water. Have fun. Be happy. And I'll be back here tomorrow. Come join me. Bye, you guys.